so glad to be here. I must apologize though and how long it took us. You know, my favorite cameraman, Lane, his schedule and my schedule have not been connecting at all. So I decided, I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this myself. So that's what I'm doing. So you guys are having a little experiment with me and we're seeing if we can do it our own. So I'm glad you're all so nice and I don't have to feel too scared to do it by myself. But I am excited to be here and it'll be easier if I can figure out how to do it myself. Then I don't have to try and fit his schedule, and so I'm excited. So, okay, so bonus. It feels like it's been forever since we were at camp, and maybe it has been a little bit because we've been busy. So we're gonna start with our little miniatures, our miniatures box. And let's see. I thought I would show you the one I have finished first, and it is Hugs for You, and it is just so cute. We have used the little project patterns that we have, and they're reversible, so you can actually use either side. You'll just cut that all out. And then here is the Rose Garden Miniatures box, and again, it is reversible, so this is just a larger version of our mini rose garden. So I have cut out all of the pieces for the miniatures rose garden, but I wanted to make sure you knew about scoring. So I like to score before I cut out because I just have my whole page to work with. So I line up the little dots because if you remember, we score the dotted lines and we cut the solid lines. So I just take my small end of the embossing tool, or if you have another scoring tool, that's great. And I just go along those dotted lines, and I want to make sure that I do all of them, and you can tell by feeling if you have done them or not. And then I like to do it on a mat of some sort. You could do it on a piece of chipboard, just anything so you're not damaging your table there that you're working on. So I have got all of our pieces cut out, and I just want to show you all of the fun things that you can do with these little project patterns. So we have our box itself. I have cut out the little strip that you wrap around the box. I have cut out all of the little pieces that you wrap around your candy bars. And if you notice, there are different patterns on different sides. So you can really make it a cute little coordinating pattern inside depending on which one you choose to show. So I might do, let's see. Oh, you gotta be careful. You don't want to think about it too much because then you don't get anything done. So maybe I'll do this or do that since the band is the pink stripes. I'm going to use that for coordinating. And then, so the first thing you want to do is you will just fold your box along all of the scores. So I have cut it out. There are little pieces on the end that you want to cut out. So you'll snip here and here. And now you just want to fold. Decide if you want to have the large pattern or the smaller version on the outside. So I chose to do the big version on the outside. And now I'm just folding on all of my score lines. That just makes it a little bit easier to assemble, and it's easier to fold if you've already got your scoring done. And then I am just using double-sided tape, but whatever adhesive you have that you're accustomed to, that you prefer, that is great. So you'll make sure you have these little flaps folded too, which I missed. So what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of tape on each of the flaps because they're actually going to tuck inside of the end flaps. So I'm just putting a little bit of adhesive on this outside edge. And then I am also, I hope you can see with this new camera angle, I will try and keep my fingers out of the way. And then you're going to put tape on the upper flap as well. And I'm going to do it on both ends because I want to seal off those ends nicely. And you will see how easily this comes together. So the first thing, you want to fold in your little flaps like so. And now you're going to fold in. So you're going to bring the side end up. You want to make sure your box is sitting squarely. And then you fold this outside flap in, so that kind of finishes off those edges. And now the tape that we had already stuck on there secures all of it in place. So I am just going to now do the other side. So I folded the two flaps in. You have to make sure they are stuck against the back. Now, if you want, you can take a bone folder or your embossing tool. I'm just going to use the edge of this. So it's just a little thick right there. So you can see we have made our box. It is so quick and so easy. And now I'm going to go ahead and wrap the candy bars. Now, one thing that I noticed when I was wrapping the candy bars previously, excuse me, and this you could actually just use a regular Scotch tape too. In fact, mine is sitting right here. So I will grab that. And then I just wrap, I center it first on the top side, and then if you tape a little bit on the candy bar itself as well, it helps to secure it a little bit better. And in fact, on the next one, I'm going to wrap it around just a little bit more first. So I'll show you what I mean by that. I'm going to put it, and I'm going to make sure I wrap this one around a little bit further so I have more room on the top one to adhere everything in place. So we have the one flap taped in. We're just going to fold over the second flap. And see, I've got it so this flap only comes part way, which allows me to center my tape better, making it a little more secure there. So we'll hurry and do the last one. I just love all these little patterns and how they coordinate together. I think it is so fun. So again, I've wrapped my tape around, and it's okay if it goes around the candy bar a little too far, but I do want it centered a little bit better on the candy bar itself. Now I wrap it around, got it to still secure in the back, and then look how cute. And these are just the little Hershey's miniature candy bars, so I think they're darling. But now for the fun part, look at that cute little box. I just think it's so cute. So the first thing is we have our little strip, and we could wrap it around this way, or I could wrap it this way. Whichever way you prefer. I'm just going to go ahead and go this long direction, and I kind of try and pinch it as it goes around the corners too, so makes it a nice little, I've got this just a little longer than I need, so I'm going to go ahead and just trim off a little bit so I have room to wrap it. And again, I just pinch it a little bit so it wraps nice and neatly. And you could use double-sided tape, whatever you want to secure the back there. Now, I want to show you the fun things that you can do with the top of the box. So we can just go ahead and stick on the little square, not triangle, piece, and you could position it in the middle. You could slide it up. depending if you wanted to add a sentiment to go with it. For this moment, I'm just going to leave it in the middle. And I did our little white daisy flower. And you can just see that that's cute, just sitting on it like that. I could add the little leaf if you want as well. Whoops. I'm not going to bother sticking this all together because I want to be able to show you more things. So you could do it like that. One other option is you could actually rotate the little square onto an angle, and I think that gives it a fun look as well. Now, on the one that is more masculine, right here, you could make it feminine for a lady as well. Just stick your little flower on here. You could scoot your sentiment over. So that's fun to keep in mind. One thing to notice too is I did ink around the outside edges just slightly because I wanted it to feel a little more cohesive with our mini rose garden pattern. So it is inked a little bit as well as the outside edge of this. But I wanted you to see there are other things. So this is off of our new card cutout. And then I could just stick the little bee. We worked with the bee on during camp as well. But look how cute that is. There are so many different sentiments too that you could use with this. And there are so many options to how you decorate it and the little sentiment that you give to someone. So it is just such a cute little thought to share with someone. And it's fun to make them too. I'm just going to show you the inside so they have their own little patterns as well. So you can see how cute they look inside as well. So I hope you've enjoyed these little treat boxes. They are a lot of fun. I'm just going to go ahead and set them aside now. And we are going to move on to our card. So this card was featured in the last week. Oh, I'm just trying to grab my stuff here. Was featured in the last week of Camp Noteworthy, but we didn't get to it, so I'm excited to work with it today, and I want to show you how fun it is to add a little embossing. So we have talked about different ways of defining your area that you're working on, and I love this little bit of embossing just going across the card. It just gives a little definition to the card and finishes it off. So you can see it is really fun to add embossing with our card cutouts. I'm going to go ahead and we are going to make a slightly different version of this card, but I wanted you to capture the variety of things you can do. So let me scoot everything over and I will bring on my light box. Now, you don't need to use a light box. You just need a light source, like a window would work fine, just anything so you can see through your paper to trace. So on this card, I'm going to turn this off for just a second. On this card, you can see we had a zigzag, a double zigzag. I think it was number B268. So that was a fun addition, and you can make it so it'd be horizontal. If I were going to make it horizontal though, I would probably just switch my flowers around a little bit so the leaf was coming off here, but I thought it made a really cute portrait oriented card as well. So just different options. Okay, so for this one, I thought I would show you what a different pattern might look like and how you can do it even if the pattern is not as wide as the paper. So remember, you always put your template down first and then you turn your paper over and place it on top and emboss like so. But if you're trying to position something first, I like to have my paper right side up, position my template how I want it, and then I'll flip it over. Now you'll notice this template, and it's B216, it's not long enough, so we are going to put our flower maybe right here, a little off to the left, So I'm just going to emboss a little bit right there, enough for to be on the left side of the card. Oh, remember, you'll want to use your embossing tissues, which I have already done that on my card. And just, you're going around this outside edge. Actually, I'm pushing right down through the center. So that kind of catches both sides at once. Now, all I simply do is move my paper, line it back up. It doesn't have to match exactly because we're going to put, I don't have to line these swirls up because my flower is actually going to be sitting there. So I will just start in the next spot by just going right down the center. I am getting all of the edges embossed. I hope you can see that. It went right off the edge. So now, I'm going to turn my light box back off. You can see how the embossing pops out there. If I wanted to exaggerate that a little more, I can always just grab my scuffer and just add a little bit. You can see now how that's really popping. So scuffing is always a fun thing to do. I am just using a nail buffer, so that works great. If you have sandpaper, that works. I like the nail buffer because it gives you a little space to hold on and manipulate it as well. So I like that. Now, if you think that is a little too stark to go with this one of our new papers, and you could have done it on either side. I actually think I meant to do it on that side, darn it. But it works good either way. And now I'm just inking ever so slightly around the edges. I can distress it a little bit if I want with my scuffer as well. And now I'm just going to take my flower and let's see here. I have a leaf sitting here too. Let me just see if I can see that quick. Sorry here. Okay, I'm not seeing, oh, here it is. So sorry about that. But you can see you can just tuck your leaf in. I'm going to go ahead and adhere it down so I can hold it up and you can get it better. One secret too, if you realize, oh, maybe I scuffed it or a little bit more, and I think sometimes it's fun to scuff the edges of the card as well so you can see how that is working. And then I am just going to use my double-sided tape. You could use mounting tape on this. I think that would be nice as well. And I'm just sticking my little flower down, and then I'm going to stick the tape on my little leaf, and I'm just going to pick this up ever so slightly so I can fit on my little leaf. And then, so you can see how cute that is. You could just add a little sentiment if you like. But I loved thinking and telling you about the different borders that you could use. We're going to come back to this one. As I was working with it, I thought of another idea I wanted to share with you. So I think this is super cute. I love the little scribble border. So now we are going to do a little cutting technique. And I am just going to cut right along this inside edge of my zigzag. I'm going to see if I can take these flowers off. Not very easily, so I will just hold them back. And I'm just cutting along the zigzag. I hope you can see what I'm doing. So you can see, leaving the embossed border. So you can see we've kind of created a little decorative edge there, and it looks cute. Just, I'm sorry, I forget which way the camera is going because it's different than it was before. So you can see how that's just created a nice little decorative edge, which I think has a fun look itself. But I also thought it would be fun if we were to add another paper that would coordinate with this. And so I just cut this as a quarter sheet of paper, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And if I can hold that up so you can see the embossing as well, it really has a fun effect. And I would probably adhere this to the back of the card, or you could adhere it to the front of the card so it open like so. So you can see you can have a lot of fun with these borders. Now the other thing that we talked about a little during camp, and that was the different options of creating a framework for your card. So before I go there, I have a couple more templates to show you that create really fun borders like we've just been working with. This one here is template B273, and it allows you to use these tiny dots, and you could do a single row or you could do a double row. You could even do the little flowers in between. You don't need to do all of it though, but I do want to show you how easy it is to emboss those little dots. They may look tedious and like that would be an awful job. Like, what are you telling us to do, Carrie? All you need to do, remember, I use my big end, scoot my project over here. I use my big end and I am simply just dragging it across, and I'm applying a little bit of pressure because I want to catch each of the holes. You can see but I don't have to sit and go like this, and I can just drag my tool along. And so you can see now how those dots, I'm trying to figure out what is a good way for, so you can see it as well too. So can you see that cute row of dots? And I could just have done a single row or both rows. So I think that's fun. Another one that you can use is this little ribbon border found on template number L9471. It allows you to just create a border that feels kind of a little more whimsical. I call it like a ribbon. So you could use that. And then we also have our stitching pattern, and this one is B262. So you can see there are many fun things you can do, and I love taking just a part of a template to create something different. So I hope that inspires you to try some fun new things. I have a couple more examples to show you. So this card here, called Enjoy, and let's see if I can get it. I hope you can see that. I'm going to turn off the light box. Maybe that will be a little bit better. So you can see all of this background embossing. That was created using this template, and it is L980. And again, you just do these little dots just like so. So it can be quick and easy, but yet gives you such a fun look. And I just created a background. I also went around this outside edge so I could create this frame around here. And then I just added some of our new flowers. The word enjoy came off the chairs that we did last year. I just love those little chairs, but I love that little message to go with these flowers. So that's another idea of how you can create a boundary to work within on your card. So that was one idea. Another idea that I think is really fun, it is using, let's see if I can find this template number. I'm sorry. It is L9012. And what you do, I used Daylily Fresh Gesso, and you just simply put this on your paper. And you can go around the outside edges. So on this one, if you can see that, I did go around the outside edge as well as each of the little squares. So you can do this on a colored paper, or I could just do this on a white paper and just use it like it was already pre-embossed, and just leave the card be white and add something cute to it. So I just would go around, do each square, creates a border like this. This middle part just twists out of this template, giving you a frame that you can do many things with. So I added a couple of flowers to the middle of this card, and then I just used our Distance Dots Reverse Sweet Pea. I love the little contrast, and I love this border it creates. You could do one flower, you could do many different things inside of this border, just depending on what colors you might choose. And our last example, I think, is actually really fun because it is such a surprise. Now, I'm missing that piece, but we will just carry on. I don't see it here. So I embossed this little tag tree. Now, many of you may have this tree already, but this is a great tool to use just the outside edge. Now, you are familiar with doing it like this. I should see if I can see it here. I'm so sorry. Oh, I found it. That was fast. So I embossed this frame. And it looks like so, and I'm like, oh, to have several of them, that could look like a little picket fence. There are just so many things you could do. Or you could make a tag. Look how cute just these little flowers are sitting on it. So I'm getting quite a pile over here, and I need a couple of things. Here we go. Okay, but then I had another idea that I think you will really enjoy. So you'll take your little tree tag, and you are going to use, I will just use these polka dots that we had that are sitting here. Now, for this little wooden tag, I went around the whole thing. This time, I am just going to go everywhere except for the point of this. I'm just going around this outside edge, and remember to use your embossing tissues. Just rub them on quick. It makes it so much easier. So now we are going to flip this, and I am going to, so here is my embossed edge, which you may have a hard time seeing, but I am just lining it up. So here's the end of my embossed edge on both sides. Now I'm going to take and emboss that, just the little triangle part. And I actually did that as a reverse. So it's going to look a little, there we go. But see, you can see it popped out, but look at that cute pennant shape it made. So you can cut that out. I've already done that. And I have just a few pieces that I've done. This is our pink geranium barnwood. Look how cute. I can just tuck these little pennants. I don't think I'll use that one. Add your cute little flowers. And look at what a cute card that makes. You could add now another little sentiment if you like. But isn't that just quick and fun? And who would have ever guessed this template would turn into that little pennant? So I hope you've enjoyed our bonus section. It has been so fun and so good to be back with you. I hope you have a great day, and we will catch you next time. Thanks for stopping by.